Welcome everyone to the Poké Podcast Collective on Collecting and Connecting. I'm going to be your host today, Poke Economist, aka Sean. And yeah, we've got a lot of Pokemon collectors with us today, with all different expertise, shall I say. And yeah, it's going to be a great chat. I'm really looking forward to this, guys. We had a lot of fun a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really looking forward to what this one is going to bring us. To start off tonight, I'm going to quickly share my screen and just show you guys some of the new products that are coming up for the 30th celebrations of Pokemon. So this is the 30th anniversary set. Already some of these products have started to leak. They've already been available on eBay in the US. And Pokemon have actually reached out to eBay to ask them to crack down on sales of these products ahead of the approved release date. So first of all, I just wanted to kind of get everyone's thoughts here on the 30th anniversary celebrations. Jonathan, we spoke a little bit last week about how you got into Pokemon, your pathway to Pokemon, 30th anniversary. What are you making of what Pokemon are doing to mark such a massive milestone?
Well, it's interesting. I'm sure their PR people are not happy that the first major news is that cards were literally stolen from Pokemon and put on eBay and were getting bids. I actually even saw last week people were doing some pack openings online with 30th anniversary. I thought, how is that possible? And where are they getting these packs? And it just makes me sad on behalf of the Pokemon company. They care so much about the integrity of what they're trying to do, and for there to be a leak, it kind of just like takes a little bit of the energy out of what they're trying to build up. That positive energy, it's the negative energy is disappointment. So I was focusing on that because yes, they had to contact eBay and they're trying desperately to get those cards off the market because obviously there's no supply yet. So those are going to go for artificially high prices, and I'm super excited for it. I mean, I will not be buying every one of those SKUs and spending over $1,000. I will definitely love to buy an ETB. I collect ETBs; they look great, and I'll definitely be going for individual packs. But I'm just excited for this release. I mean, the anniversary is always a big deal, and even though we now know because of the leaks, a lot of the cards that are being leaked, we know that they're really great cards. The designs are awesome.
Oh yeah.
So it's really exciting, and I just hope that Pokemon knew about this anniversary so long ahead of time that they've printed the shit out of this product so that we all can get our hands on it.
Absolutely. And I think what's really nice about this as well is the stagnant release dates. It's not just a one date for absolutely everything. It's over the course of months. I think it starts in only a couple of weeks' time. It's going all the way up to November, and I'm sure well into next year we will get our hands on some of these products. Matt, what do you make of this? If you kind of came across any of these cards online, you had the opportunity to get some pre-release?
I have not, but I did go to GameStop the other day. I went and bought 4 of those card packs of the starters, and I did get to pre-order 2 because I wanted to get an ETB, and the person behind the desk was like, "Sorry, they're already just sold out. We already got our cap." So I believe I pre-ordered 2 of the 6-pack of booster boxes. So I was like, you know what, I'll take that. It's something to have, for later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited.
For sure.
Over here as well in the UK, products are still very hard to come by. Regardless of what it is, whether it's sets like Pitch Black, whether it's sets like Chaos Rising, just getting hold of any sealed cards at this point is easier said than done. Taylor, we know you specialise mostly in Japanese cards. Obviously, there will be a Japanese equivalent for a lot of these cards. What do you make of this sort of English release and the way it's kind of came about in the headlines, if you will, around it at this point?
I mean, first of all, I didn't appreciate that eBay took down all my listings. So. No, I mean, I think it's awesome. I mean, that was the first time when you just showed the Eevee card that I've actually seen that art, and I love that art. So I'm looking forward to just seeing what all this new stuff that comes out, and I'm obviously gonna have to get one of everything, so that'll be fun.
I hope you're saving up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. But I'm excited to see the difference. If there's the English side is gonna have some that aren't released on the Japanese side, and then the Japanese side, same thing. kind of thing. So that'll be cool. And for people who collect English and Japanese, that'll give them even more to collect, which I think is pretty cool. Seeing
Absolutely.
that.
And a lot more overtime required for those people that decide that collecting both English and Japanese is the way forward for them. Max, you're joining us for the first time this week. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being part of it. First of all, what do you sort of make of the news of obviously these leaks ahead of the 30th anniversary celebration set?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, inevitably, there's going to be leaks, and it's cool to see kind of some of the upcoming artworks. I really like what they're doing with Evolutions. I feel like that's their bread and butter in terms of all those artworks. And kind of like Taylor, I mainly just do Japanese cards these days, but it's really cool to see the different variations, and of course, like the differences that are going to be between the two. It's going to be cool for the sealed people who like sealed product to collect the variety that they're releasing. It looks like there's more than there was on the 25th. I mean, for the 25th, I don't remember much. All I remember is this pin for the most part, but other than that, there was only like a handful, but I feel like they're really diversifying this time around, where there's a lot more product, which is cool and fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think specifically with the UPCs as well. Let me see if I can get you a quick picture of these things. Where are we? We've got the booster bundles. We've got a Dittle collection. Here we go, the UPCs. So these are going to retail at almost close to about $200, $150 perhaps.
I like how they're unique and that there's an Umbreon and an Espeon version. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really neat.
They're really going to town with the artwork of some of these promo cards. Like, it is just over the past few years, Pokemon really have just really upped their game with some of the art. It's incredible. But yeah, like, this is going to be a really interesting couple of months. I'm hoping that it's going to be a good thing for collectors and people being able to get a hold of them. I've heard rumors of print rates. I don't know how accurate they are, so I don't want to say too much, but it seems like they are printing quite a lot of these products. So hopefully that is a good thing for signs to come. And
Sean, let's turn the question around to you. What are you most excited about for the 30th anniversary, and what do you think about these the record, the scandal that's broken the news wires?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the leaks as well, it doesn't entirely surprise me, to be honest, because I think it's something that we've almost, unfortunately came accustomed to. I remember the 25th anniversary as well, when the products released from that, and then the sort of original pictures from a factory of a gold news started coming out, and then sure enough it was in the set. So I think it's something that's becoming more common. In November, I'm going down to London to a Pokemon concert at Roto Arena, which will be really cool. So I think Pokemon is part of their 30th anniversary. They're doing these day events, night events, day out and night out. So the concert down in London is part of the night out event. So I'm really hoping that some of these 30th anniversary products will be down there, particularly the UPC. Whether they will or not, who knows. But yeah, no, it's exciting time, and yeah, as long as I can get a hold of some of them, I'll be very happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw in Japan they have like a stamp rally right now.
Oh, wow!
You can go and collect different stamps at like different stations. So if you travel to like all the different stations, you get different stamps. You have like a book, and it's all just like different starters and like all the like just cool Pokemon stamps that you could think of. And I think if you collect so many of them, you hand the book in at like one of the stations, and you get like a bundle of like different, I don't know, like promo stuff. So I thought
that's
that was
pretty
cool.
Though. That's
really
cool.
Japan,
Yeah,
like, does that, but yeah, the concert thing like reminded me of that.
The a couple of years ago, similar to that, I think it's maybe about 2 years ago now. Pokemon staged an event. It was called Poké Post, where basically it was like a pop-up post box, and I think they did this across Europe. Where there's a couple of different places that have this post box. And the evening of the event, or the evening of the post box, like I had an event that I was going to, so it meant that I had to get through to Edinburgh, where the Scottish one was being held, very early in the morning. I think I got there for like 5 o'clock or something like that. The post box opened at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll make sure, I don't have it on hand, but I'll make sure I've got this card for next time. And basically the idea was you get 2 envelopes. You got one envelope you got to take with you that had a promo card in it. It was either a Pikachu or an Eevee. And then you got to send the second card to a friend.
That's cool.
And yeah, and it was, I can't remember what set the card was from, actually. That's really bad. But yeah, it was a promo card that had like a little thank you stamp on the bottom right hand corner as well. I'll make sure I've got them for next time. But yeah, just like small events like that sort of Pokemon put on from time to time, and even the lead up to that, I don't feel like it was like a big launch, if that makes sense. It was only a couple of weeks ahead that I actually heard about it. So these like sort of like smaller events, they just kind of creep up on you. I think it's pretty cool. We have Taylor back in here. Perfect, awesome. So Max, last week we spoke a little bit about everyone's sort of like background to Pokemon and how they kind of came about it there. You mentioned that, along with Taylor as well, you mostly specialize in Japanese. I'm just kind of wondering, how did you kind of get into that like sort of field of Pokemon? How did your Pokemon journey begin? And how did you go on to sort of specify it? And more than anything, how did you come across all those cabinets at the back? Because that doesn't look like it happens by accident. It looks like there's a little bit of effort going in there.
A little bit, a lot of time building them, but I got to say, I probably Wayfair, right, Taylor? That's where you got your, yeah.
Oh yeah,
easy enough. They always have sales. But yeah, so I guess my Pokemon journey, like most kids born in the '90s, grew up with the show. Like I remember, early age of like 3 or 4 years old, and watching the show. And then of course when the cards released, I was really into the cards as a kid, bringing them to school and all that stuff, trading at the playground, all that fun stuff. So then I was kind of off and on with Pokemon pretty much throughout my like childhood. Like when Yu-Gi-Oh was like came about, I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh too. So I did that for a good chunk, and then kind of circled back to Pokemon when I was like in I guess when I was in high school, when my little brother got into the games. Like Platinum just released, and like that game was sick. And so my brother got Platinum, but I basically stole his DS and played Platinum because he could really read. And so so that's how I got back into it, because he started to play with cards and stuff too. And so yeah, so I did that through most of high school, and then went to college. And of course there's a lot of kind of put on pause there, but kept my cards. And then around when COVID started, again, my brother got me back into it, because like I think this is when like I think like Shining Fates came out, and like he had that, like he showed me a picture of the like that shiny Charizard VMAX. I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, and got me back into it around the COVID time. So
about that sort of time when you came back into it, did you still have all your original cards, all your original stuff, or did that start to
kind
disappear?
of? Yeah, no, I had all of like my like stuff that I'd acquired. It was like all in top loaders and sleeves. Like I did it right. I remember I had like back when Phoenix used to have. That's where I'm in Phoenix. So back when Phoenix used to have a Comic-Con, I remember buying a Shining Celebi and a Shadowless Charizard, relatively near mintish, for like a grand total of $60 back in like 2011. And so I had those still, and like a bunch of other random stuff, like a lot of like the base set vintage through like Neo. And then I don't have them anymore, since I've been constantly grading, trading, selling, all sorts of stuff for the past 6 years. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I got into it, and what has come of it. As far as like going into Japanese, as I kind of like explored, like when I got back into the hobby, and like the COVID times, I was like kind of exploring like the unique like Japanese exclusives, and I was like, damn, Japanese always gets the good stuff. And then when I would have like cards like in comparing them side by side, I was like, Japanese like knocks it out of the park every time. Like you look at the crystals, they've got like all like the glitter foil on top of the Pokemon, whereas like the English counterparts don't. And same thing with like the Shinings, and like it just like seemed like they always got some special treatment, and they always like felt a little bit more unique and special than the English counterparts. So that's kind of why I was like, oh, just Japanese.
Yeah, one of the questions I asked Taylor last week as well was obviously Japanese Pokemon cards, particularly with the struggles to get hold of the English equivalents, they have become a lot more commonplace. A lot more people are hunting after them. Have you kind of noticed that? Has that made life a little bit more difficult for you as well, trying to get hold of specifically Japanese cards?
Not necessarily. Obviously, there's always a struggle with any boom of being able to afford cards these days. I mean, it's kind of nuts. But I mean, I stay hunting on like I use Buy a lot to, as a proxy service to buy on like either
Sure.
like the Yahoo auctions or Mercari. I get a lot of my raw cards that I grade from there. So it's not too terrible. I mean, you have to like bear with the tariffs and stuff, but just be mindful of them. So
Yep.
not too bad, but you kind of have to be quick. If you see something, it's probably going to be gone the next day. So
Yeah, you can't really mess about. Yeah, speaking
yeah.
of tariffs, like you might just be able to see it just over my shoulder back here.
Mhm.
Oh,
This
cool.
is a canvas from like a Van Gogh Pokemon collab.
Nice. That's
Thanks
sick.
to Brexit, which happened a couple of years ago, importing anything to the UK got a lot more expensive pretty much
Oh,
overnight.
sure.
So I got this imported from Holland. It took about 6 months to get here, and the sort of like customs fees I had to pay on top of the price of the canvas actually equated to roughly about basically doubled the price. It was like the price
Whoa.
back on top again.
Yeah.
But I had to get this thing. I just
Oh,
absolutely love
yeah.
it. So
And so,
Yeah, that's awesome. Love the
some
unique art. That's sweet.
things like that, you just kind of have to go ahead and jump onto. One of the questions we were kind of like speaking about before we came into tonight was, is there a card or is there, a particular Pokemon product that you have that, bring back a memory specifically from your childhood, Jonathan? Also, you spoke a little bit last week how you started off mostly in sports cards before coming over to Pokemon. Do you have one like that maybe, brings you back
I do.
to very
I do.
early
Yeah,
days?
it's interesting. I was thinking about when Pokemon was first created was '96, and I was graduating from college, so that was the last thing on my mind. I wasn't even into sports cards at that point. You're thinking about other things. And then in 1999, when it really went mainstream, that was the year I got married. And so I think about how that was another phase of my life where I wasn't thinking about cards, and yet the reason why my favorite character that I super collect is Pichu is because I remember being aware of Pokemon as someone who's not into Pokemon cards. But when Pokemon started to have a cross-culture impact and it started to weave into everyday society, where you started seeing it on backpacks and you started hearing about it being banned at school, and it was Pichu who to me was the real OG, because Pikachu, this was the baby, and so it was this character that I've always thought, like, I've always admired, because I always thought from afar. I didn't know about the Pokédex, the 151 back then, so I didn't know that there was 151 characters. But I always thought like this was like the original OG. So when I got back into the hobby, when I would be at a trade show, this was the character that I resonated with the most, and that's who I've been super collecting ever since. So yeah, so it's not a particular product; it was a particular character, and it was Pichu, because even from afar, I noticed like, that was that's kind of where it all began.
There is something about that second generation of Pokemon. Like, I remember the first Pokemon movie, I think Donphan was like the first chance that we got to see of Gen 2. Where it
Yeah.
popped up at the very beginning, the trainer battle against Ash. There's just, for people that collected in the very early days, there's just something about that generation of Pokemon that just, to this day, absolutely resonates through. And Pichu is just an absolute perfect example. For me, Munchlax as well, who, again, is hiding somewhere in that canvas. You're probably not going to see it. But yeah, that generation just really did kind of encapsulate everything that we, love straight away about Pokemon. Matt, yourself, have you got a particular card or memory from your childhood?
Well, I have I got the Charizard. Well, you can't really see it back here, but I got when I finally got my own Charizard base set, I found that. I was excited
awesome.
to have that. So
Yeah.
because I was a kid when I saw it at this small shop. I grew up in a small town as New Paltz, and they had this place called Signs and Hobby. I just remember going in there, seeing the cards up on display, and I saw Charizard. So I'm like, Mom, can I get this? It's popular. And she's like, not for $40, you can't. And back then, $40 was a lot. Like back in '90s, 2000s, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So it just she's like, I'll get you some packs. So I got the packs, and that's when I got myself a Zapdos out of it. And I was excited because I was like,
That's
this
awesome.
is really cool. So I got something out of it. And then like right now, so that's like the card that got me into really the whole trading card game aspect and everything. So I'm glad that I have it now. It kind of just sits on display and with all my other ones.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Thanks. You got Zapdos as well. Like, that's really great. That there's another one in there, and it wasn't just, I don't know, maybe if it was just like a regular sort of rare or something like that, and then it could have went all totally different. But you get hooked in with the Zapdos, and here you are today talking to all of us.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So,
perfect. Yeah. Taylor, come to yourself next. As soon as you have a drink, of course. Particular memory, particular card from your childhood that stands out?
I mean, now that we're talking about it, like that movie, seeing Gen 2 come out, it literally, it was like, it went from like being in love with Pokemon to like, it somehow got even crazier.
Yeah.
I was like, I like it even more now somehow. And like, you know, like Jonathan, I think on the first, maybe it was the first one where they had like the Pikachu and Pichu adventure.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, they had like the little short. It was like a little short.
Pikachu's Vacation or something?
Yeah, Pikachu's
that was
Vacation.
Yeah.
That was a super cool one too. I don't know, I'm just thinking about that now. Like, yeah, when Gen 2 came out, and then I remember I think it was like a Nintendo Power magazine, and I would just sit and like trace like Lugia like all day as a kid. I was just like, I brought out like 50 pictures a day of like Lugia, just the same one, just being a kid, like just like, hey mom, look, the same picture over 50 times. But yeah, I'm just thinking of like Gen 2 now and like how enamored I was like with, I mean, I already was with Pokemon, but then when Gen 2 came out, just being like blown away.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, on Switch recently, we did have sort of re-releases of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They could be the next ones on the Virtual Console. You never know.
I hope so.
Yeah, I heard rumors that they were doing Emerald and stuff too next. And
yeah.
Emerald. Tell you what, actually, speaking of Emerald, give me 2 seconds, guys.
Speaking of that, I actually...
So this was a recent pick up off of eBay.
Wow, that is cool. Awesome. Is that
Lego?
Yeah, it's Lego.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Again, like Pokemon just this year started doing a Lego collaboration. It's it's off the charts.
Does it come with the 2 trainers?
Yeah, it's just 1 trainer, in fact.
Is it Zinnia?
Really? Is it May or Brandon?
Neither. It is... I can't remember her name. Is it Zoya?
Zinnia.
Zinnia. There we go. Boom.
Zinnia. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they chose her. Yeah, she's sick.
All right, Sean, I got to ask.
Oh, yeah.
What other characters has Lego licensed to make?
Yeah, I need one
What
too.
other characters can you build?
Oh, wow. So I think the very first set Lego released it was quite an expensive one, actually. I think it was well over £600 here in the UK. And it was the sort of final evolutions of the starters. Tell you what, whilst we're talking, I'll see if I can bring something up. So that was the Charizard, it was the Venusaur, and it was the Blastoise as well.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yes, the 3 Lego one. It was like all 3 of them kind of sitting.
I mean, I never see Lego Pokemon in the stores. Is that because it's so popular that?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop and rejoin real quick. Can't hear half the people. I'll be right back.
No problem.
I saw that now they have these special blocks in them, and you can actually battle between each of the Pokemon.
Yeah,
they interact.
That Gengar and like Cubone, that was really cool.
Really? Oh wow, is that? Oh, that is so cool.
This is the first time seeing this. I didn't even know. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like, so this is very small release in the grand scheme of like what they're looking at.
I gotta get the Rayquaza one now that I'm seeing it now. It's on the Lego shop. Darn.
Sorry guys, I'll probably cost you an absolute fortune over the course of this podcast this evening. But
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Worth noting. So some sets, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 sets. The Gengar was one, I believe. The Pikachu was one. Some of them are coming with the smart bricks. But the smart bricks at the moment, I think they've got some in the Star Wars sets as well. But they're not licensed Pokemon sounds, so it's not like a licensed Pikachu cry, it's not a licensed Gengar cry, anything like that. So we are hoping that at some point Lego do manage to get some licenses for Pokemon sounds as well, and get some of the actual Pokemon cries in there. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, this is awesome, actually.
Sorry, guys. Just to branches out to another realm of Pokemon to delve into. Yeah, an expensive one at that as well, because some of these sets aren't cheap, to say that much.
I'm having audio issues again. I can't hear. Now I can hear Matt and Taylor, not you hooking on this.
Taylor, can you ask Max to leave and join back in again, please?
Yeah, if you want to just exit out and join back in. I don't know. I did it a couple times now, and it seemed to help.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll do it again.
Hopefully, it fixes it.
Yeah.
The joys, the wonders of modern day technology. I was literally just about to ask Max as well, his sort of like childhood story. But nevertheless, I'm sure he will be back with us very soon. Sort of kind of like on cards, and obviously we're specifically talking about Pokemon here today. But why the cards that I remember getting as a kid? Here's Max, actually. Here we go. Hey, Max, you're back with us?
I think we're all set.
All good?
1, 2.
Perfect. And we've also got Jonathan. We've got a full house again.
All right.
Yeah, Max, since you're back in time, I'm going to ask you, do you have like a card or a specific memory of a Pokemon that brings you back to your childhood?
Yeah, I mean, like Matt was saying, of course, base set Gyarados, or base set Charizard, I gave away my hand. Base set Charizard was like the card, and I always wanted it, but I could only pull a base set Gyarados. So this is actually from my childhood. Was the Shadowless base set Gyarados.
Oh, that's awesome.
I actually gave it to a friend. He gave it back to me to grade for him. So we'll see how it does. Probably 6, but yeah, it'll be cool. But yeah, that one for sure is one that I distinctly remember having was basic Gyarados and then a non-hollow Dark Charizard. Those are like the two that were like the most nostalgic for me. But yeah, those are fun.
One of the cards you mentioned earlier, actually, was a Shining Charizard. Was that right? That you picked up for less than $60?
Oh no, that was a Shadowless Charizard, but yes.
Shadowless Charizard. Wow.
Dude, Max, I think back in like 2016, I think on eBay I bought a Japanese Shining Charizard for, I think it was like $75.
Oh yeah.
It was like pretty, not like mint, but it was like not bad condition. Yeah, and I just remember having that, like displaying it and stuff, and being like, I spent so much money on this card back then.
That's crazy, because obviously like that amount and like today's value of Pokemon cards is, you know, in retrospect, maybe not even a drop in the ocean, unfortunately, in comparison to some of the price of some of these things. Is there a card that maybe you did have the opportunity to buy? I'll start with yourself, Taylor. Such as that, and you maybe just passed up on, or you thought, you know, somewhere down the line I might pick this thing up, and you know, it just kind of like passed by you.
Man, I mean, I feel like there's so many. Like, I've had the pleasure of like owning so many cool cards, selling so many cool cards, but it's like to try to collect, and even just on the Japanese side, like trying to collect all of them and get some of like the cool trophies or like more rare things and stuff is like, I feel like maybe there's been opportunities. Usually if it's something that I really like, I go as hard as I can to try to get it in what, you know, if it's possible. So I don't know. I probably have a massive list that I could go on all day, but I just look at it as an opportunity in the future to somehow get it. I'll find a way to like get all those cards. So.
That's a very, very positive way, and I love the gotta catch 'em all spirit is still with you even to this day, 30 years on. Matt, yourself, is there maybe a card that at one point you thought was on the horizon and somehow might have just managed to slip through your fingertips?
That's a good question. There's like, it always happens when I'm looking for a card and then I see it and I pass on it. And it's usually at card show. I'm like, I'll come back to it later. And then a few years later, the card's way more expensive. So you end up paying a lot more for it. So it's, I can't think of one off my hand right now, but definitely there's been those times where I've gone to look at card shows and I'm like, dang, this card's great, but it's so expensive. And then I regret it later for not picking it up, really. So.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Yeah, it always seems to be that way.
I think towards the start of the year, Pokemon sets, as they do these days, coming thick and fast, and there was a card from Journey Together that I really wanted, which was the Articuno card. And I kind of thought about it, and the price started to go up a little bit. And at that point, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that much. I think it was about £20, just over $20. And I was kind of humming and hawing. I was like, I don't know if I should get it. Maybe I should just wait a little while. And one day I was in a card store, and they had one, and it looked pretty nice. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy this thing. So I went ahead and bought it. Whilst I was there, I also bought 2 packets of Pokemon cards. I bought a packet of Journey Together. I bought a packet of Destiny Rivals. Get back to the house. I go to open the Journeys Together, and straight away I get another one. So I'm going from having 0, I ended up having 2 of them. So
Great story.
That's awesome.
Pokemon gods at work.
Pretty much, yeah. What would have been really nice is if I'd opened the pack, but anyway, I've got 2 of them, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. All right, so Taylor referred from yourself, Max referred from yourself, Matt. I think we've actually. Have I not asked anyone that question? I'm sure.
I'll give it a go. I got 2. I got 2, and you know what? It actually can lead to another conversation if you want to have the conversation about the actual state of the market right now and prices. Mm-hmm. Because when I first started getting back into trade shows after the pandemic, like I watched Pokemon go from like 5% of the Kansas City community to like now it's like 2/3, sometimes 95% of a trade show will be Pokemon. And this one card I would see everywhere, and I would watch the price go up, up, and up every single trade show, and it was the Pikachu Van Gogh card. So that was one that I've always been enamored with. I've always wanted it, and I will definitely one day catch them all. But there's another one, which is the Bubble Mew. Now, in the last 6 months, the Bubble Mew card is become like such an obsession, right? People just love this card. And I was just listening on my walk today to Nostalgia Economics, and he was talking about how PSA 10s and a lot of the premier cards have had major corrections in the last six weeks. Some even up to 50%. And just to give you an example, the Bubble Mew, I guess this is raw, has gone from 400 to 300 in the last couple of months.
Wow.
I'm not sure that card or any card is done coming down because the correction has just first begun. But I've been watching these 2 cards because one day I will own them. And now I feel like, well, the market's finally maybe turning because 30th anniversary is coming. Everyone's kind of wants to get their powder dry. So they're maybe selling some stuff. And that might be the reason the market's correcting. But that's a pretty big move already from 400 to 300. And it could be a $200. When it's a $200 card, I might pick it up, but I'm not going to be racing to do it. I'm in no rush. Let the market come to you, kind of buy low, sell high. But the Pikachu Van Gogh, I can't wait to be on this show one day and show you guys that I finally acquired it. And then the Bubble Mew is just an awesome card. And I didn't want to be FOMO and chase it when everyone else was buying it. But I never forgot how much I love that card. And I'm watching it, and the price is coming down. And so those are my 2: is Pikachu Van Gogh and Bubble Mew.
With the Pikachu Van Gogh, how was that distributed in the US? Do you remember, how you could get a hold of that?
I think it was through McDonald's, actually.
Oh, really?
I think it was through McDonald's, but I'm not sure. It's one of those things where it's in very short supply. The pop count of PSA 10 is what it is, and it's just been so coveted. And even though you see a lot of it, it's not in short supply in that regard. But the price is always out of what I'm willing to spend, and it just continued to rise. Because the whole market continued to rise, and I think at some point the market's going to have a correction, and when it does, those are the kind of things that I'll be targeting that I've always wanted in my PC, and sooner or later I'll get my chance. I think.
I'm going to see if I can get this up here, the Pikachu Van Gogh card. We were quite fortunate, kind of fortunate over here in the UK, where it was given away as a promo. With I think originally. We'll go back to the beginning. Originally, I think this was a card that you could only get from the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam.
That's right.
Which is actually how I kind of came about to get the canvas. So originally you had to go over to the museum. You had to do similar to what we were talking about earlier, the stamp rally. And then towards the end of the stamp rally, I think you were given a card. Nevertheless, as always, people managed to get tons of them, and eBay was flooded with them. I think at this point they were going for roughly about £300-400, so it did work out worthwhile for people to actually fly specifically from the UK over there, do the stamp rally, get a couple, and then obviously come back. Not long afterwards, Pokemon announced it in the Pokemon Center UK website, which I think had just recently launched at that point. They were actually going to give them away if you bought any purchase of literally any Van Gogh object. I'm confident I must have one nearby. But anyway, yeah, I managed to pick up some sleeves, managed to pick up a puzzle, just random Van Gogh items like a tote bag. And because I did it in individual orders, I ended up with, I think it was like 4 or 5 promos. But at that point, the promos, like the value just completely slumped. It was nowhere near the original value that it was when people were flying over to get these things. So I'd managed to sell off a couple of them, and that kind of like equated to the initial offload of how much I'd paid to get them in the first place. So to this day, I think I've got one remaining. So it's a very good part of my collection for sure.
Nice. Oh. I have a little bit of advice too for, like, you know, if you're priced out of the market and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One second.
That reminds me, a friend of mine managed to get one of those Van Gogh Mews. Pikachu, sorry. And he went to a local card shop. He's like, I'm not going to get it. It's $400. The next day he went back to the card shop and picked it up. And I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, wow. Yeah, he got it. He was like, I'm surprised it stayed there for the whole day when he didn't leave, you know. But
you know what? It's kind of, it was one of those things. I think back then I did a YouTube video just kind of talking about it, and it's just such a unique piece. It really is.
Yeah, I did research it. Apparently, the U.S. you could get that Pikachu through an online drops of the Pokemon Center website. So if you ordered X amount of money, they would throw it in there. But people ordered so much stuff, it went out quick.
Yeah, they were just tossed in there too, and they got crinkled and cramped. Nuts.
I saw some like videos of that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that would have crushed me."
Yeah.
I remember by the time it went live, like the sort of banner that appears in Pokemon Center website in the UK, most of it was sold out. So like you would click the banner, you go to the items, and it'd all be gone basically.
Dang. Yeah. All right. Well, here's what I was gonna say earlier. Like, just buy niche stuff.
Yeah.
Is that the stickers from like a DS game?
Yeah, it's
those are sick.
Let me show you on the back.
Oh wow.
But so whenever I'm like priced out of stuff, I just go into the wildest rabbit holes of like what is like cool like niche stuff that I can find, and like look at that Mudkip. He's so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. Look at that cute Mudkip.
But
that is awesome.
That's like. Yeah, it doesn't work for everybody, but it's like my advice for like if you're like worried or whatever, you're like, oh, I feel bummed out, I can't afford anything. Like go find some like random cool stuff that's cheap and still brings you like joy, because stuff like
that's good advice.
Thanks. Yeah, like stuff like that is what just keeps me going, because I'll be mad about like, oh, maybe I'll never get this card because it's so expensive, but then I'm just like, but who cares? I got these cool stickers. I got little Mudkip stickers.
Your posts are always like next level with like the really unique like Pokemon items, especially Japanese ones I've just never seen before. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. That's like, especially in those magazines. Some of your I forget, are they like postcards or like what are those trainers mags? Like I forget, you posted one a long time ago of like the Split Earth booster pack like artwork, and it's like that's cool. Those are really cool.
Thanks, man. That was like a promotional one, actually. I think it was like a 2002 promotional like Japanese trainer mag. And it came with like info of like kind of like the products at the time. I don't have it on me right now. I'd have to like go dig it out, but I'll have to have it for another podcast and show you guys, because it's like phenomenal artwork, and
it's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, when I saw that too, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
That's my favorite pack artwork of all time. That and like the Mysterious Mountain ones, I'm almost like, oh, those are perfection to me.
So good.
Question for you, Taylor. Did you manage to get your hands on a Rayquaza that was a promo card for the opening, I think it was, of the Pokemon Center in the Sky Tower in Japan?
Oh, is that the one with like the cracked ice hollow?
I think so.
Where he's got like a blast coming out of his mouth?
That's the one.
Yes, I have had that. I've graded a few. I don't have it anymore, but that is one that I want to get again, because the cracked ice hollow is crazy.
Yeah, it's super cool.
You can only hope that well, in the US, but also here in the UK, that one day we get our own Pokemon centers where promos such as that may exist, cool. But one can only hope. Specifically for me, I quite like a Pikachu with the Scotland flag in the back of it, but I'm sure our neighbours in England would have a lot to say of that before we ever get one up here.
That'd be cool.
One of the topics that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight, if it's okay with you guys, is what is the most obscure or random Pokemon item you may have in your collection? Jonathan, you're nodding your head. I'm hoping you've got something good
ready.
for us.
I actually have it on display. I'll explain what it is. Sometimes the weirdest things will find you, and then you're so glad you have it. Yeah, this is actually a pocketbook, I believe. So I think you can open it up. And,
a pocketbook?
You can put some fun stuff in there. Maybe you can, I don't know, go to a Poke Fest and...
Oh, those are cool.
That is pretty.
That is awesome.
But basically, I got this. I was at a card show, and like I said, I it's wild. I've watched the card show community in Kansas City transform from a typical card show that's supposed to be sports, from 5% to sometimes up to 90% is Pokemon, and the Pokemon community is really about fun, right? And so when you go, it's like a carnival, okay? And so everyone's got spinning wheels and boosts and ways to win surprise stuff and whatever, and I'm always a sucker for the spin a wheel. So I actually I was at a point where I just started to film stuff for social media, for TikTok and whatever, and so it was a cheap thrill. I paid $5 whatever. I spun this wheel, and then I won the big prize, and I was able to pick from this giant group of stuffed animals, and I figured I'm gonna pick this cool Pikachu. And now he's one of my favorite things, and it stays with me in my display now. So this is my most obscure
awesome.
Pikachu thing. I think it's a pocketbook, and I'm sure when I become a grandpa and I get a granddaughter, let's not go. Gifts for my future granddaughter for sure.
What is the sort of logos and the sort of on the what you call it?
Band.
Yes, the band around the actual bag. Is that got a Pokemon logo on it, or is it?
Oh,
wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's really
cool. Let's get Eevee, let's get
Pikachu,
a Psyduck.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah,
that's
got
awesome.
Those three. Yeah, so one day it's gonna make an awesome gift, but for now it's fun eye candy. I love collecting stuff and decorating my office for the good vibes. And as you know, I spent the last 2 years working on a book called The Pokemon Gods Are Real, which is now in pre-sale, by the way. And so I just my office used to be mostly sports. But in the last couple of years, I've really, gotten into non-sports cards, including V-Friends and Pokemon. And so now there's a lot more yellow in my office because I love Pikachu. And when I get free, when I win free stuff, it goes on the shelf.
Nice. That is awesome. That's a brilliant one to start off with. Matt, have you got a particular obscure Pokemon item to hand?
I do. I have 2 different copies of it. It's I think they were only released in Japan, which I thought they were pretty cool.
Taylor's eyes are lighting up as we speak.
Yeah, they're. This one was particularly. It was a soundtrack of the original games, so it's all the Pokemon cries.
Oh wow!
And everything, and it has all the cool Ken Sugimori artwork on it.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's
I just love it because I can listen to the first half unless, because you hear all the towns and stuff like that, but then you hear the Pokemon cries, and you're just like, oh wait a minute. It's just 2-second clips of the Pokemon cry, and that's it. So it's not really a long. It's not like an iPod listen, but definitely the first few towns are. And what's cool is it comes with a whole trainer map too, which was awesome. I love it. It's like the full map from back in the day.
No way.
I went and looked online. For this because I saw it, and it's just like a full map. I love it.
Oh, very
Wall
cool.
of Kento.
That is brilliant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I gotta put this on the wall.
Yeah, you do. You gotta frame that.
Frame it.
Exactly. So yeah, this is one of my favorite things I love in my collection.
The Taylor, you managed to get those graded by CGC as well?
Yeah, that CD. I do have one graded. It's graded by PSA.
Oh wow!
I got one graded.
Nice.
I just have to. I have an ungraded one, and then I have a graded one. I think it's a 9.8, and it was
wow! That's awesome.
and everything. So it's so sick though. The art is so cool.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I didn't actually realize PSA grid to see these as well. So hey, you learn something new every day.
All forms that's of media. Pretty cool.
They recently just did video games. You have a bunch, don't you, Taylor?
Yeah. I think under the video games, you can do like soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And they did under not CGC, but when they were WADA, and I believe that they probably, I don't know. Besides that, like Pokemon one, like how many that they do, but I think sometimes you can just send it in and like give them the option, or like kind of put it in there as like unassigned, and then it's kind of a crapshoot of like whether they're gonna grade it or not. They're just gonna either do it or they're gonna send it back and be like, we don't grade this. So I don't know. I just send them random crap sometimes. Like,
that's what you gotta do.
On that note, so I guess the question to everyone else has been, what's the most random thing in your Pokemon collection, or that you have? Taylor, what's the most random item you have sent away for grading? Have you got a particular Pokemon item that you've sent for grading that you've went, this is never going to go through it?
Oh man, honestly, most of it goes through, or I find a way to make it go through.
I'm very interested in that philosophy. I really want to hear more about that.
I mean, Beckett and CGC will pretty much, if it fits, they'll grade it. If it fits in one of their slabs, they'll grade it.
Yeah, because I remember there's I don't have one on me at the moment, but like pencil boards, they're like kind of bigger. Like
those
art.
Are cool. Yeah.
And it's just like a big like kind of like plastic sheet, but it has like really cool Pokemon art on it. And nobody was really like grading them, and I just like messaged Beckett, and I was just like, hey, can I send these in? And like they were just kind of like, sure, we'll see. And I sent like a bunch in, and they were like, all right, sure. And they graded some, and they didn't grade others. And I just went on like this spree of just all these different arts and sending them to Beckett. I sent them like 100 one time.
You sent a lot.
They're
incredible.
Like, what is this guy doing?
They're so cool.
I would just get back stacks of them, and then I'd also have a stack that they were like, we won't grade these for whatever reason. But so I've sent a lot of like obscure, just like new kind of things like that over to like Beckett and CGC. But I've had like pretty good luck with them, or otherwise you just give them some information of like where it came from to prove it's like legit.
Sure.
And that usually helps too, where they'll be like, oh, okay, we can look into this a little more rather than just reject it.
Yeah.
Conversely, have you ever sent something to them that you're like, this is a sure-in, we're good, and actually it has been rejected?
Yeah, I mean, recently I sent in, it was like, I think it's Game Informer or something like that. Or no, it's not Game Informer, but it's like a Japanese equivalent. I can't think of the name, but it's like the first like Ken Sugimori art, and it had like the original like Tyranitar.
With the different coloring, right?
Yeah. It's like
that's
kind
cool.
of like beta versions of like Pokemon, and it was on the cover, and I sent it in to PSA, and they were like, yeah, we don't grade this. And then there's like two other people who sent me pictures of theirs in
a slab.
PSA. Yeah, and they were like, no, they do. And I was like, I showed them, and they were like, yeah, we don't grade that. And I was like, what is this? And they're just like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Sometimes they stop doing that. Yeah, like they've stopped on like a couple cards that have like incomplete hollows. Like I know they've stopped on like Shining Mew, like Core Mew incomplete hollows. They stopped grading those altogether. Same thing with Magikarp and Gyarados, and so they do like some funny things.
Every now and then, because then I sent that same thing. They sent it back from PSA, and I sent it to CGC Comics, and they were like, "Oh yeah," and they slapped.
Oh, there's tons of those. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's
such an iconic artwork too.
Sorry, what were you saying, Max?
Oh, I was saying it's such an iconic artwork too. I can know exactly what you're talking about. It's sick. It's got like the Hitmontop like beta on it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's super cool. Yeah, I don't have it on me at the moment, but like I'll have to get the art for you guys and show you because it's
awesome.
Cool.
That is brilliant. Max, over to you. If you've got a particular random item with Pokemon, you've got to have something in that cabinet we're not expecting.
I've got like this ripped Charmander.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my buddy gave this to me a long time ago. Oh yeah. You're bigger, Taylor. You're bigger.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it has like his own little. It's like on an incline bench and everything. But my best bud gave this to me for my birthday. So yeah.
Dude,
to my
that's no thing.
display.
I have a really good friend who got me the Squirtle and like
They
Pikachu
had,
one, where they're like
yeah,
flexing and
yeah,
stuff.
they're like, they're hitting
Yeah.
all the
man.
Arnold poses. It's sick. Yeah,
So are
they're
those like
awesome.
actually legit Pokemon, or is
No,
it like a third party
it's
product?
definitely
Okay.
not
I was like,
licensed. Yeah,
that's a route that I did not see the Pokemon company ever
no,
going down, and one that
no
must have
way
shut
is it
down
officially
super quick.
licensed.
All right,
Yeah.
that
That'd
makes
be
a lot
sick.
more
The
sense.
next Lego, it's like the buff
Yeah.
starters.
Oh, I'd be totally down for that. Like that's
Yeah,
just make every Pokemon look like a Machoke. That'd be quite cool. I'd like
yeah,
that.
that'd be awesome.
I think they did it in the US quite recently as well, just over the past couple of weeks, but over here in the UK as well. Pokemon, as part of this 30th anniversary celebration, are doing collabs with lots of different companies, one of which was Krispy Kreme, the famous donut company. And as part of that collaboration, they were releasing gold boxes. The gold boxes would be given out to anyone that was, I think it was like the first 3 or 4 customers that would go to any participating store on the day. So over here, I never quite managed to get on release day. I went a couple of days later on break from work. Can I get to the donuts? Get some Pokemon donuts. They were delicious, I must say. And I just asked the person behind the counter, I was like, I don't suppose you have any of these gold boxes. And they were like, well, myself and the person they were working with had actually been on holiday for the past like 4 days previous from when these things got in, so they didn't actually realize they had to give them away. So
Cool.
it meant that not only did I get a gold box, a Krispy Kreme Pokemon gold box,
That's cool.
there's also no donuts in it, so it's nice and clean.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's even better.
I'm gonna go check out Krispy Kreme now.
Right.
I mean this with all sincerity, this is genuinely, out of all the Pokemon things I've ever collected in my life,
You
this
gotta
is
frame
by
that.
far.
That's cool. Yeah, that's
That
awesome.
is really
You know
cool.
what, Taylor? I
Love
might
it.
have to take you up on that. Actually, that's a good idea.
Hey, you'll beat me for most obscure thing trying to get graded if you said that. I think that's cool though.
My worry is like how on earth I'll get it over the States in like a reasonable condition. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, plain white envelope should probably do the trick,
Just throw it in there. A lot of tape.
I was going to say, Taylor, I'm going to be coming for you for tips. You've done this time and time again, so
Heck
you know the
yeah.
ins and outs of it. Yeah, no, fantastic.
I got a question to throw around. We've talked about grading tonight, and and PSA and CGC. I'm curious for Max and Taylor, who do a lot of grading. How has the backlog impacted you, and has it changed your views on how you want to grade in the future? For example, I know that PSA have had a premium in the marketplace. Some graders will only grade with PSA, but do you think that PSA's problems in the market lately have tarnished their brand, and are companies like CGC or TAG gonna step up to the plate and kind of gain market share? Are you gonna start grading cards with TAG and CGC, or are you gonna say loyal to PSA and just wait for their backlog? So what are your thoughts about that topic in general for both of you?
I mean, it's like I'm no stranger to. I mean, PSA has done this in the past where they've like shut things down. Also, Beckett's in the same. I mean, they're all under collectors now, but Beckett's also shut down because of their volume intake that they've had. I don't necessarily think it'll hurt like the loyalty of the people that exclusively grade with PSA. They'll just wait till the cheaper tiers open back up. I'm sitting on quite a few to send over there, but I also send to Beckett a lot, and I plan on sending a lot of mangas to CGC when they open up their manga grading. Should be soon here. So I don't know. I don't necessarily like. I think there's a lot of people that like quickly go to like, oh my god, like this is gonna ruin PSA. I'm like, the PSA is the giant in the hobby. Like they're not going anywhere. They grade the most out of any company. They're certainly not going to go away. Maybe they'll have other people that choose to send to other competitors, and that's totally fine. I think that's healthy for the market. I think people should be taking advantage of that during this situation and kind of diversify. And I honestly of the batch, the CGC slabs are super clean. I love the look of the pristines, especially. I mean, they look awesome. But as far as like, I'm not grading anything right now. Like I'm just saving up a good grading pile until I can, send us and the tiers that I need to send.
That's fair. So you like CGC, but you're waiting for PSA. How about you, Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, I only grade with Gma now. So, I'm just kidding. They're like a lesser known. No hate to them. I haven't used them personally, but so it's like Max said. It's like we've seen this over and over. I think with the companies, especially PSA, like they get super backlogged. And honestly, the first time they did is why I think it was 2020. I started grading then I started grading with CGC because I was like, well, it's my only option.
Yeah, I did Beckett. So same deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did Beckett like a little after that too. So I've been grading with all three of them, regularly since 2020. And I mean, honestly, I think it just comes down to preference too. I mean, there's so much that goes into like, if you only want it for the high end market or like to maintain value or there's so much stuff because it's like even like the CGC slab compared to the Beckett slab compared to the PSA. Even for some people, it's just the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it displays the card, the label. There's a lot that goes into it. And so, I don't think like PSA being backed up, if you're a hardcore PSA collector, is going to keep people from, waiting it out or maybe even sending out a super high tier. I don't know. If people have money, they're probably like, 150.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, I don't who cares? But the value tier is like the one that I generally
always
like,
do that one. Yeah.
So anything like above that, I do have a hard time unless it's like a very valuable card. But I think it comes down to like if you want like your set's uniform as well. So it's like, I have all the rest of the cards from this set in PSA. A lot of the times I think people are going to want to finish it in PSA. So maybe they'll wait or whatever. But and I mean, some people don't care. They'll just mix and match and they're just like, I don't care. I mean, I just wanted to grade it, display it, whatever. And I kind of tend to be like that sometimes. Like I'm working on like the unlimited E-Series set. And they're pretty rare. And so I have PSA, I have Beckett, I have CGC. Like I have a little bit of all of them because I just like them. And that, if that's what it is at the time, like if the card comes up, I'm not going to wait for the PSA one to come up 3 years from now or whatever. Just as an example, it's like I'm going to buy the Beckett copy that I found today.
Right. Yeah.
On that sort of note, how are you finding the standards as like a crossover from like obviously like a Black Label Beckett is like up there with one of the best, but particularly with like CGC or Tag and PSA, if you were to get like a PSA 10, a CGC 10, a Tag 10 side by sides, is there like any sort of trade-offs? Is there maybe things that particular companies are more harsher on, whether it's centering or corners or a little bit of whitening?
I think each one has grading is subjective regardless. Like you're gonna find, I've seen bad pristine 10s in CGC and Beckett. I've seen bad PSA 10s. There's always the grading standards have changed a little bit in PSA with the newer stuff post like the 6 certs, but other than that, like nothing's like too crazy. I will say like the Beckett and CGC pristines are most of the time better than PSA, or they're greater than or equal to PSA 10s, I would say. Sure. And I will die on the hill that Beckett 10s deserve a premium, as I have one right here that Taylor used to own, this guy. So that's my favorite card in my collection. So
dude, I'm so happy that you have that, Max, because I opened that from a web pack.
No way. You graded it?
I bought the web pack.
Okay, now I can't ever get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I opened it and then I graded it.
Whoa, okay. That makes this so much more special to me now. Like, wow, that is so sick.
Cool. I'm glad. Because that was one that, like, it was, if I remember right, it was like something came up in my life and I was like, holy crap, I'm going to have to sell this. It was a little bit of a financial thing. Yeah. And I didn't want to, but like I knew I just missed it. But like the fact that you have it, it just like, I'm just like so happy. It doesn't even like matter anymore. I'm like, dude, I'm glad I sold it now because you got it.
Thank God. Oh my God. I didn't even know the backstory behind it because I knew you had it at one point because I saw it on, I even saw like Clayford had reposted and I was like, that's my cert and my copy. And he's like, oh, I got this from Taylor. And like, I was like, oh, no way. And I didn't realize you were the one that graded it. So that makes you really happy. I graded 2, like a Web Dark Star and a Dark Blastoise in a Beckett Pristine 10. And and they're with West now. He's a big Beckett guy,
Oh,
so he
nice.
has them. So, but I always I was like, oh damn, I never should have gotten rid of those. But that's why I got this one in a trade, like what 8-9 months ago. But yeah, that makes me super duper stoked, man. That's so sick. I didn't even realize it.
That's really cool. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's such a cool card.
Guys find the sort of value aspect as well of like crossover from it is obviously Beckett 10 Black Label, I'm assuming is going to be worth a little bit more than a PSA 10, is that correct? And then how does that transfer over as well to like a tag or a CGC as well? Does the market respond better to a specific grading company, or is it all just about equal?
I mean, yeah, I haven't used Tag. I guess I don't really like follow them. They look cool, but I just haven't, sent anything in or really followed the market. I will say, I mean, obviously Black Labels, those are just insane value. And I mean, I think like Max was saying, though, it's like subjective. I mean, I have seen Black Labels where it's definitely not 10 centering, but generally like the Pristine 10 or like the BGS 10 up to the Black Label is like a very clean card. I mean, they are hard to hit. And every now and then I feel like they let one in that shouldn't have been, but it's like pretty rare compared to like PSA, like 10s where sometimes you can go back and you'll see like so much whitening. You're like, there's no way. Like they knew the person who sent this in. They're like, they had a friend who was like, nah, that's a 10.
Right. Yeah. But sometimes I think they just get rattled around and they whiten it themselves. I mean, some of those old cases, I think that's what's happened. Hey guys, I unfortunately have to drop my my wife's we're expecting, and she's craving some ice cream right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, but I gotta run, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah. Good meeting y'all.
All right. We
well, and I mean, I was gonna say like I think so. Like there is the premium with like Beckett because they are generally very hard to get. Like the 10s, even the 9.5s can be very clean. I just don't grade with them as often, but when I do, it is usually a card that I'm like, okay, this is a pretty clean card. I have a good idea that it'll be a contender. But also I spend a lot to like CGC, and it is hard to hit the Pristine, in my opinion. And I mean, I've graded a lot of cards with them, but a lot of people, they'll like the value is getting there, but a lot of people they haven't been around as long. I think people like to argue about it. I mean, I'm a big proponent of them. If you don't like them, it don't matter to me. Like I like to collect them. And there's a lot of people like we kind of joke around in the group chats and stuff, too, like, oh, his CGC garbage, like, but because I think there's a lot of like new people that come in and I think they just see PSA as like the big standard. And so they're like, what is this other crap? But I don't know, to me, and maybe it's just like my view, but like the longer you kind of like, and the longer you collect, the more you're kind of like, I'm not loyal to just one company or whatever, because it's like the card, right? It's more about, to me, like the card rather than, it's this company. And so I've also been grading for so long that, not to say I know better than other people, I just feel like I have a lot of experience sending to PSA, Beckett, and CGC. And yeah, I think the crossover of like a CGC Pristine is generally a little better than a PSA 10. And I like the way they look, and I think they're hard to hit, and it's a challenge. So it's kind of like a challenge for people who don't like those companies or think that they aren't hard to grade or whatever. It's like, try it yourself, give it a shot, because I think experience is the greatest teacher. So, before you go to like a show and just start bad mouthing people or whatever, it's like, why don't you try it yourself and like, see if it changes your opinion or your mind and, kind of go from there. And if you still feel that way, then that's totally cool too. It's,
On that sort of note there, you say the experience as the sort of teacher, you obviously have a lot of experience yourself in grading. As a simple ballpark more than anything else, could you tell me what I roughly could get PSA graded wise for this Krispy Kreme box?
Man, let's that left top corner.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I think there's something there. I think there's something there.
Dude.
Nah, it looks good, man. I would do it.
Yeah.
I'm really tempted now. Like I'm petrified at the cost that might be to send it over to States.
The
But I tell you
shipping
what,
cost.
it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah, that is super cool, though.
Pretty confident that'd probably be a pop one if they did grade it. So,
Absolutely.
We got a question from Paulie. Let's pass it around. Have the Pokemon
Yes.
gods ever worked in your favor?
All right, who wants to start? Matt, enjoy. Give it a go.
Sometimes, like, I would just get I think I got a pack of, what was the one? It was Silver Tempest. This was a few years ago. And I was just pulling packs out. And I randomly got that Lugia. Not the alternate Lugia, but I got one that was, like, really coolly rare. It's like, oh, neat. So it was exciting to see a cool Lugia pop out of it. And what was the pack that everyone wants that shiny, that Moon Umbreon from?
Oh, Evolving Skies?
Evolving Skies. I got a Mew, a full art Mew out of that.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, this is pretty cool. I was just like randomly pulling the cards out because I was like, I didn't know anything really all they were about. This is when their prices were, what, like $2 or $3 a pack when you could get a pack for that. Now they're like, I don't even want to know. It's like $20 a pack for that. It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely crazy, and I'm hoping over the course of this is something we can talk about. But a lot of the modern sets, like 2020 onwards, even 2019, the prices of them are absolute sky high. Before we came on tonight, I was kind of having a browse around, looking at some Crown Zenith as well, which it's not an old set by any imagination. It's only a few years old now. And some of the prices and the sealed product for the Crown Zenith set are just insane. Like, they're absolutely wild. It was a great set. I really liked it. There was a lot of cool cards in that set, but it's not cheap to get a hold of, much like the Evolving Skies as well, which is one of the more famous examples of cards or sets over the past few years that are very, very expensive. Taylor, if the Pokemon gods works in your favor?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I missed Jonathan's original question. So what?
Yeah, have the Pokemon gods ever worked in your favor?
Oh, so it is just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, every day. Honestly, every day. Like, I feel that, like, just to even have the collection I do, or even like the stickers I shared earlier, stuff like that. Like, it's just so cool to like have the nostalgia and be able to relive it, through these things, and even to find, like, I've been collecting for so many years, and I find new cool things to collect, like, let alone all the cool new things that Pokemon is releasing, every year. But like, I'm still finding stuff from like 1998 that I'm like, what is this? Like stuff I just missed, or, things that I forgot about, like I played with as a kid, which I wanted to share. I got some of these old Pokemon.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That is amazing.
Awesome.
Where did you get that?
I believe I found it in a Japanese toy store. Yeah, if I remember.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, it's like the original Bandai, and like the Surfing Pikachu. I think there's like the Gengar. Yeah, Charmeleon.
Are those like almost like see-through, like the Mew and the Dratini? Is that like an almost like that's awesome.
So awesome. I love the Surfing Pikachu. I have like a little mini one of myself.
No, oh yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
It's such a classic.
Yeah, it's like
Then some of the Sugimori art.
Oh, cool. This is what I want to get, one of these boxes. It's just the history of it. Like, look at that Pikachu on the back there.
Yeah.
That's from the I think that's from the game, right?
Yeah. It was like an ad or something? The web set. So there's like the web set in Japan, and you had to like God, I can't remember exactly right now, but you could only get it online. Like, hence the name, the web set, and then you would go onto the Pokemon Center to like get the packs. And then that artwork was one of like the Pikachu cards available.
I love it. Same with the Charmeleon. See, this is what I loved about this artwork.
Yeah,
is just going back, because I have the old guidebooks and everything. I think one guidebook is falling apart. But what's great about it? Oh yeah, I still have it. It's right here.
Oh,
Like I
nice.
have my old guidebook from the game.
No way.
It just
Yes.
has
that's
like
awesome.
all the old artwork that's in it. It's like falling apart. My dad had to laminate the front of that, and it just like even has the old stickers, the Pokedex inside.
Yes.
As a kid, I was actually pretty smart because they have all the stickers with the Nintendo Power. I just didn't take them
Brilliant.
off
Nice.
because I just like kept it. And speaking of these things right now, I heard the news that Pokemon Bank is getting shut down. So
Of course.
yeah, so it's gonna officially cut the ties between the DS and the original games all the way up to the Switch. So what I've been trying to do is preserve my Pokemon from my old yellow version, and my father's. My dad passed away about 2021, and he used to play. So what I've been trying to do is bring my games into my modded 3DS, and then put them in the bank, and then eventually bring them in there so I can always hold on to them forever and just throw them out there and play with them. Yeah, it's a way to like keep his, keep what he played. He didn't have many, but he had like some of my old Pokemon I traded with him, and it's just something to, that's what I love about it, like just bringing back all those memories of that. So that's one thing.
Honestly, that's the first
beautiful.
time I've ever heard
That
of
is
anything like
beautiful.
that. It is absolutely
That is,
beautiful.
yeah.
And like it's like a passing of the torch to like a new generation, and I can only hope that one day, I might be there as well, where some of these Pokemon that we have in our games or whatever that you can pass on to another generation. And I'm sure by that point there are probably about 10,000 Pokemon as opposed to the 1,000, just over 1,000, which is also a long way away from Gen 2, which was about 250 as we were speaking about earlier. So
I do love it. Like when you go out, you see so many kids wearing like Pokemon shirts and like, I just love seeing that. It's like younger generations still love it. Like I know the series is like always going. I haven't caught up on all the like brand new ones, but I see on Netflix they have like the brand new series with the new characters, and it's super cool. And like whenever I have like extra bulk, I might have said this before, but it's like I'll give them to my wife because she works with kids, and she'll give them like
that's awesome,
like cards to the kids, and they're always
sweet.
like they love it. They're like super pumped. So I'll just I'm trying to get them into Japanese cards too. So
nice.
But yeah, it's like
sweet.
It's just cool to like get younger generations involved, and like it's just something that I think is super cool to see that like they can have that, and when they grow up, hopefully it's the same where they're just like, all right, let's find all this stuff from like when I was young, and stuff like that.
This is one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you guys. We'll start with yourself, Jonathan. Obviously, we're at 30th anniversary. Over the past well over 5 years now, we've seen a complete upturn in Pokemon. We've had a massive boom. The likes of Logan Paul obviously got involved. That's had a massive swing. I think at the moment the market is potentially a little bit of a dip. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some of the prices coming slightly down on some of the cards. Where do you think we go from here? Where can this go to in terms of like generations to come? Like Taylor was saying there, getting young kids involved, being able to pass the torch, so to speak, onto like the next generation whenever the time comes. Is that where you see this going? Do you, in your opinion, do you think Pokemon will be able to sustain the uptake that it's had in recent years?
Right. So I kind of see how it's bifurcated. There's collectors and there's investors.
Sure.
And there's a place for both of them. In fact, you need them both in many ways. They kind of feed off each other. But they're going to have different experiences going forward, possibly. Okay. Because the investors have had an amazing bull market. No matter what you bought 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, it's worth more today. Okay. So investors are having a lot of fun. Now, the collectors, I think, will always have fun no matter what, because when the prices go up and down, it's irrelevant to them. These are PC things or cards you're using to play the game. It's irrelevant what the prices are doing. In 2028, a factory is opening up in North Carolina for Pokemon. They're going to print so much product. It's going to blow your minds. And the supply-demand imbalance right now is wacky. You watch Rudy, Rudy Investments, and, he sits there with these pallets behind him. But there's millions of people just like him with palettes of Ascended Heroes and Prismatic Evolution and Destined Rivals, okay? And now you have the biggest print that Pokemon has done in a generation, 30th anniversary. So I think for collectors, it's the best time ever because prices are coming down. The cards that you wanted to chase, like the Pikachu Van Gogh and Double Mew, will now become affordable. And there'll be more product, more SKUs, different types of ways to enjoy the hobby than ever before. And as you mentioned, the new releases are going to keep coming out for some time. So the hobby, the collector, the hobbyist, it's the best time ever. It's going to get even better than that. And it's just going to be like a golden age for Pokemon collectors. Pokemon investors better watch out because we've seen the market now turn. And 30th anniversary is still a month away. Okay, and we saw when they did a reprint of Destined Rivals, it crushed the market. 3 months ago, they reprinted Prismatic Evolution. It crushed that market, right?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And the last 3 releases, okay, have not been successful. So
yeah,
Pitch Pat Plaque, they're going for MSRP already. So the snipers, the scalpers have already gotten burned 3 products in a row. Okay, so I think that it's not going to be a good time to be an investor. Unless you're a long-term investor and you're a buyer. If you're holding lots of stuff and you think it's a seller's market, it's not going to be a seller's market anymore. And so I hope it doesn't mean you still won't enjoy the hobby if prices keep going lower. I do fear that a lot of people that I see at these trade shows are there because they see a bull market rising prices, and that gets them excited. And it could be soybeans, it could be Pokemon, it could be Lorcana. It wouldn't matter. They're going to chase whatever's the hot product. The collector, though, who doesn't care about that, now look, collectors are going to have pieces that are valuable, and sure, they want those things to go up in value, of course. Why wouldn't you? But I think it's bifurcated. I think investors have to be very careful here. I think it's time to sell, actually. But for the collector, it's going to be the best time ever. I mean, when this show started, we looked at some of those designs, and we're going to be ripping packs. In fact, I think we should be doing it when we do our future episodes. When Thursday comes out, we should all bring packs.
We got to do it.
Go around. We should open them and then show what we get because, we'll have lots of busts, but when we pull that Mew or one of those 3 Pikachus, it's going to be so epic because the truth is these designs are awesome. And so the collector is going to have so much fun in the next few months. So to me, I mean, I actually, by the way, I never got to answer if the Pokemons intervene in my life. And just like Taylor, every day, the fact that this Poke podcast was created right before my book launch was totally the Pokemon gods. But real quick story I wanted to share. I have my own publishing company, right? So I'm an executive producer. So I'm not just writing the book. I'm dealing with hiring a book cover designer, dealing with an editor, working with a book layout designer, right? All typesetting, all that stuff, right? And then I have to choose someone who's going to actually print the physical book, okay? Now, I've now put out 15 books. Pokemon will be my 16th. And every time I went with the underdog, because the big guy is Amazon. Kindle and Amazon control 70% of the market, and they dominate, and they get Ingram Sparks is where, I'm not saying the true authors go there, but back in the day, that's where you could produce a hardcover. And also, with Amazon, they'll pay you twice the royalty with an exception. They have an exclusive right to your book. It will only be sold on Amazon. Where with Ingram Spark, it could be on Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, and Amazon, and everywhere else. And so I've loved going with the underdog, and my books are in Australia and they're in Japan, and that's been awesome. However, when it was time to upload the manuscript for The Pokemon Gods Are Real a few weeks ago, and I was racing to get it done because the anniversary, I wanted to get out just in time, and the Ingram Sparks website crashed. And I was like, it's never crashed. I'm like, the Pokemon Gods, and then I go on my email, and there's an email from Amazon Kindle. And I'm like, the Pokemon's telling me to go with Amazon finally, right? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time for the Pokemon God. So I go on to Amazon Kindle, and I click on that 70% royalty. And the truth is now, as opposed to 10 years ago, Amazon is dominant, and they have global distribution, and they also have marketing power, which I didn't have before. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I finally give Amazon a chance? So I go and I set up the ebook. It was so easy. It was online the next day. And then a couple days go by, and by the way, it goes to number 1 the next day. And I'm like,
wow,
Pokemon gods are hooking me up. Then 2 days later, I get the files for the paperback and hardback. I'm like, you know what? Let me hedge my bets. Let me put out those 2 on Ingram the way I've always done. Okay? The website's back up and running. I upload the files, and they get rejected. They never get rejected. I'm like, what? So I go back to Amazon, I upload them, green light, they upload immediately. They're on sale. And I'm like, the Pokemon gods are real. And then finally, here's how you know the Pokemons were leading me the right way. This is a Facebook text from 4 days ago, August 22nd. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, here we go. And it's a text from an old friend from summer camp. And she bought the ebook of the Pokemon gods are real. There's the Amazon confirmation. And the note says, I haven't heard from this girl in like 20 years, right? Hey, hope all is good. Thought this was really cool that it popped on my Kindle app. Not often I can say I know an author, LOL. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
My God. Because the one thing Amazon had that I never did have with Ingram was marketing power. And there they go. That's proof that I'm nobody. I'm just a nobody author, right? And they have major publishing books like Barack Obama. They have other books to promote. But this is proof they were promoting my book. And then a friend of mine from camp bought the book. And I'm like, oh my God, the Pokemon gods are real. Because now when this book sells a shit ton of copies, I will know it's because I went with Amazon, who has the better reach and the better marketing. And by the way, it cost me less to use than my Ingram Spark. And it was a seamless process. So shout out to Amazon Kiddo. I apologize for waiting 10 years. But the Pokemon gods finally intervened, and I am grateful. So that's my story about how the Pokemon gods every day intervene. But this was a great story about how they really impacted my business, man. You can't make that shit up. So I'm grateful to the Pokemon gods.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Thanks,
That's
dude.
awesome. Congrats.
On that note, if you want to know if the Pokemon gods are real for you, you can get Jonathan's book. The link to which is in the comments right now. Taylor, are the Pokemon gods real?
I mean, just you can feel it. You can feel it all around. I think if you can't feel it, you just take a moment. Just take a moment. Deep breath. It's just all around all the time.
Namaste, Taylor. Namaste.
Sounds like a true lyricist there. That was beautiful. Matt, what are your thoughts? Pokemon gods real?
Oh, they gotta be. There's all these like cool ways that people have like I was talking about the games and preserving those, people figuring out new ways to back up your Pokemon. There's ways they've figured out how to take these games and move them over to the Game Boy Advance cartridge just by a simple link cable. None of this computers or anything. It's just amazing how much people have loved this thing and will develop something better than what Pokemon has themselves, even though it might get banned after a while, but they still have the passion to keep making something new and improving upon it. And that's probably the next thing I'm going to try to do the transfer through the Game Boy Advance one now. I don't know. I'm having a little trouble with the save backups, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's fun though.
I'd hear a rumor that the sort of lifespan of that cartridge of an old Game Boy Color game is roughly about 15-16 years, but even to this day, a lot of them seem to still work.
These guys, it's about 15, 16 years. These guys even less, because these ones had a running clock in them. So that drained the battery a lot faster than the Game Boy Color ones.
Wow.
So what I've done in my time of research to preserve these, I got this cool cartridge reader that reads both Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color games. It's called the Epilogue GB Operator. It's made by Epilogue.
No way.
It's an awesome product. It plugs into the USB-C on the back of your computer. It has a software that's awesome. It's a company out in I'm not sure exactly where they are entirely. They're not in the US, but this is how I preserve all my games and everything. And I just throw them up there and I have them. And that's how I was able to save everything before the batteries died, and then had to resolder in everything new. It's designed and assembled in Romania. So
that's awesome. Wow.
Interesting.
I've never heard of that before, actually.
It's an awesome product. I learned about it from a lot of YouTubers, actually.
Nice.
It's an awesome product. So if you have any games, I recommend it. It's like $50. I don't know what imports and stuff like that, but it's a great product. I swear by it.
Thanks for sharing knowledge. I was blissfully unaware of that.
Yeah, me too. I had never seen that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. So yeah, it's really great. That's why I dive into the games so much. Yeah, trying to preserve them because they only have such a long shelf life.
Absolutely. The in a very personal note, like there's days where I wake up and the first thing if I go on Instagram or if I go on social media or it's TikTok or whatever, and when your feed is just video after video or picture after picture of like people posting their trading cards, whether it's graded, whether it's raw, whether it's people standing outside shops queuing up, a lot of the time I just think this is surreal. Like, it sounds bizarre, but I actually have to pinch myself and go, is this actually happening? Like, is this the stage we're at now where this has become so commonplace and so popular that it's just taken over to a certain extent? In particular, like if I go into work and I speak to colleagues, and I can't tell you the amount of times where, words kind of got out within my workplace now that obviously I'm into Pokemon. And people will just come up to me out of the blue one day and go, "Oh yeah, like my child's getting into Pokemon, whether it's son or daughter, and they're wondering where to start out and how you kind of go about collecting things like that." And it's just the most bizarre feeling, to be honest with you. That in 2026, here we are, all these years later, 30th anniversary, and not only is it stronger than ever. Going back to the start of this, showing all the products that we've got coming out within the space of a couple of months, the sort of pace and the ferocity, for the lack of a better term, and obviously that's just across trading cards. When you start to factor in the games as well, the video games, clothing, every other itinerary of Pokemon, it's just honestly bewildering to me sometimes that we're at the scale. And then obviously we got a theme park as well that's just opening in America, or in Japan, part of a theme park, Pokemon theme park that's opening. I'm sure that's on most of our, if not all of our bucket list for some point.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one day we could do a podcast episode from that very theme park. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yes.
That'd be a lot of fun.
And
Paulie, if you're listening, you're going to have to sort something out for us. We've decided we want to do a podcast from the Pokemon theme park.
But man, I want to say, like with the Pokemon gods and stuff, it really is surreal. And like, I'm just so thankful. Like, not only, like meeting you guys, like if I wasn't in Pokemon, it's like I wouldn't have the opportunity to like share all these cool memories and items. And like, you guys do the same. And yeah, just like the community, the friends that I've made, the people who have supported me and like my business and my collection. I'm just so thankful every day. And like, I'm a big proponent of like, if you follow your passion and like what you really enjoy, like life will just keep giving you like more positive reinforcement. And that's like the Pokemon gods in action right there. Like the more you chase it, the more you get that positive interaction and just like feedback. And that's the Pokemon gods just being like, keep going because we aren't going anywhere.
100%.
Yeah.
Well said. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't think we could sum up this episode in a better way. Over here in Scotland, it is approaching 25 minutes to 4 in the morning. So if it's okay with you guys, I love Pokemon. Pokemon's great, but I also love sleep. So I might get a couple hours sleep before I head into work tomorrow. But Jonathan, Matt, Taylor, thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you've had fun. I've had a great time.
Great show, guys. Well done.
Yeah. Great show. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching along. It's been a great time. And you know what? Like, as soon as we get off, I'm going to send Paul a message. I'm going to see if we can make this work, get a podcast episode for the Pokemon theme park. I don't know how it goes about coordinating that, but I think that would be a good one if we can make it happen.
That sounds
I'm down. That's definitely something.
There we go. Everyone's on board, so it can only move forward. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and hopefully see you again on the 9th of September for your next one.